Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and we're going to talk about Spider-Man because people are upset that Soups had a take about Spider-Man, right? And normally I don't really care about Soups because Soups is basically a shield. But what Soup said about Tom Holland Spider-Man is something that a lot of people don't want to admit to, and I've been saying this for years. And I've said the reason why a lot of people seem to not really vibe with Tom Holland Spider-Man is because Tom Holland Spider-Man is not Peter Parker Spider-Man, and I keep having to have this conversation over and over and over and over again gets annoying because a lot of y'all will try to say that people are wrong about how they feeling about Tom Holland Spider-Man. But no, people aren't wrong about their feelings on Tom Holland. Tom Holland Spider-Man is the worst depiction of Peter Parker Spider-Man. And the reason why is because this Spider-Man is not Peter Parker. This Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man, has always been based off of Miles Morales. I don't know why I got to keep saying this over and over and over again, but it's true. He's based off of Miles Morales Spider Man. He's always been based on Miles Morales Spider Man. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all don't want to admit it, I know you don't want to hear it, but it's true. This this is the fundamental reason why people aren't vibing with Tom Holland Spider Man is because deep down this Spider-Man is Miles Morales, but you call him Peter Parker, which annoys the audience, which annoys people who know Spider-Man. Because think about it, Peter Parker Spider-Man is a character that can stand on his own. He doesn't need any heroes in his books, in anything. He has ran long running TV series, shows, video games without any other assistance from anybody. Now I'm not saying that characters don't show up in his books. I'm not saying that Spider-Man himself don't show up in team books. But what I'm saying is that Peter Parker Spider-Man does not need other characters to make his shit work. But when we're talking about Miles Morales Spider Man, because the MCU is based on the Ultimate Universe 1610 with a mixture of 616 property, you have to look at it where, okay, you have Spider-Man, right? And when Peter Parker died in Ultimate Universe, they said that they're going to make sure that the next upcoming hero will have the support of the Ultimates, which is the Avengers at the time, and Shield. The reason why you see this Spider-Man so ingrained with a lot of Marvel characters is because it's based on Miles Morales Spider-Man. Miles Morales Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe, he was very close knit with Shield, with the Parker family, with the Ultimates, because they didn't want to see Spider-Man die again after Peter Parker died again, after they ignored Peter Parker for a long time. So that's why you have this is why you have the MCU Spider-Man so closely knit because it's based on Miles Morales. And if you notice, when they showed the Iron Man suit in Homecoming, it's based on the 1610 Iron Man suit. But again, that suit has been the main suit for Tony Stark the entire run through of Iron Man, Ultimate Iron Man. But again, the people who helped Miles Morales Spider Man is Tony Stark, is Shield. And if you read the Ultimate Spider Man run, from the Ultimate Universe, you would see that that's why it's not feeling that's why it's not vibing with y'all. The fact that you have Tom Holland Spider Man, he is constantly getting help from other heroes. He's constantly having movies where he is either the supporting character or he's the main character, but the draw isn't him. It is the other characters, like No Way Home. Great movie, but the problem is it was coasting on the fact that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield took over. Like we didn't care about I didn't care about nothing else that was going on in that movie. Once Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield got on that screen, I said, fuck Tom Holland. Like honestly, I wanted more time with them. I didn't want to see anything else at all. Like I did not want to see anything else from anyone else. Like I really didn't. Like that's just how ingrained it was. Because once you had Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire show up, that was it. You know, like you can't, you could, you couldn't, you couldn't pretend like, oh, they're irrelevant. No, they're not irrelevant. They are the draw of this movie. It's not Tom Holland. It's never been Tom Holland. Just like Homecoming, the draw was not him. It was more of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and the Vulture and their beef that Spider-Man got stuck in between. Far From Home, once again, Jake Gyllenhaal, Iron Man stuff. Peter Parker got involved, is dragged into it, and Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Like he, he wasn't the draw. That's the problem. And in No Way Home, again, Doctor Strange, and the multiverse and the Sinister Six for alternate realities. But because of the effects that Peter did to Doctor Strange to create a memory wipe thing or whatever, created a rift in dimensions. But again, it wasn't Tom Holland that was the draw. It was the alternate reality Sinister Six and Doctor Strange and Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. They were the draw, not Tom Holland. Brand New Day. Once again, you have it, but then guess what? Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. Punisher's going to be in there. Scorpio going to be in there. Other things are involved that is not the draw. Like people as much as we want to, he is not the draw. You're doing a Spider-Man movie and the draw is not Spider-Man. That is a problem. And once again, let's go back to how we know it's based off of Miles Morales because Miles Morales is the one who went to a Brooklyn Academy, not Peter Parker. Miles Morales' best friend is Southeast Asian, which is Genki. And guess what? They made at least Southeast Asian fatty. Like, how does that work? Miles Morales has a mixed girlfriend. Why do Peter Parker's MJ Michelle Jones is a mixed black girl? You see how we're correlating things. Miles Morales and his family they live in apartments. You know they live in apartments. Peter Parker in the MCU living in an apartment. You get what I'm saying? Hmm. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. You get what I'm saying? Peter Parker's friend group. All of them used to be white, and every last one of those characters were white in the comic books, and now they're all based on diversity, inclusion friends that Miles had. Like, there's a problem here. And my thing is, it would have been more respectful if the MCU Spider-Man was based on Miles Morales. And what could have happened in Civil War, you had Andrew Garfield Spider Man be there because it would have made more sense for why he's upset, why he would join regulations, right? You have him in Civil War, then you do Amazing Spider-Man 3, which leads up to the events of Miles Morales, and then you do maybe one more movie with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then you pass the baton on to Miles Morales Spider-Man. That way you can at least that way you can like Peter can still be here, he can still be in the movie if you need him to show up in thing, but then you pass it on to Miles Morales. That way, I think the audience would have respected more if it was a different Spider-Man because it's not Spider-Man. And I think truly deep down inside, people like Soups and other people who are criticizing it, they know that it's not Peter Parker. They know that this isn't Spider-Man Peter Parker. It is something else. But the problem is, a lot of people who claim they hate Miles Morales, they claim that Miles Morales is nothing but a black Peter Parker. Y'all don't want to admit that this is what it is. And the fact that a lot of y'all like the MCU Spider-Man, you like Miles Morales. You can get mad at a wall. You can tell me how much I don't like. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you like the MCU Spider-Man, you like Miles Morales because this Peter Parker Spider-Man is based on Miles Morales. They just named him Peter Parker. Everything about the world of Miles Morales is in the MCU. Like, think about it. There is nothing uniquely done in this world of MCU Spider-Man that is Peter Parker Spider-Man. No, like I'm being serious. Name something that is genuinely from Peter Parker himself, like the actual Spider-Man, Peter Parker, that is not based on or superficial or adding from Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. Like, literally look at all three of the Spider-Man movies. What is unique about this Spider-Man that is uniquely Peter Parker? Nothing. Nothing. Because it's not Peter Parker. The second guessing, the nanotech, the technology, the extra suits, all of that is Miles Morales. It is not Peter Parker. That's why this shit is not vibing with people. That's why some people do not like Tom Holland Spider-Man, because it's not Peter Parker. It never was. It is Peter Parker in name only. That's why I keep trying to understand. That's why I'm saying it's important for a lot of y'all to start reading these comic books or at least skimming through them, because you're telling people that they're wrong, but no. If you've read the comic books, you know that Tom Holland Spider Man is not Peter Parker Spider Man. He has always been Miles Morales Spider Man, and the MCU has always been based on 1610, which is the Ultimate Universe mixed in with a little bit of the 616. It's the same thing with the Fantastic Four. It's the same thing with the X-Men movies. All of these movies have been based off of the Ultimate Universe 1610 with a little bit of 616. That's why certain shit didn't happen. That's why the X-Men wore black suits. Because in the comics, that's what they wore. It's a reason why the Fantastic Four Doom didn't have all that shit, because in the thing, he had electrical mutated powers. I'm sorry to tell you that. And the Galactus in the Ultimate Universe is a collection of fucking robots. Yes, collection of robots. So would you want a collection of robots, or would you want it fucking clouds? I'm just being honest. You get what I'm saying? Like, with a mixture of a little bit of 616. Y'all have to understand this. The same things like why is Elektra wearing a black suit? Because in the Ultimate Universe, that's what she wore. That's what she literally wore. Why is Bullseye not? Because Bullseye didn't wear a fucking costume, hardly. Y'all have to understand these comic books sometimes in order to understand why some people are rejected. It's a reason why people rejected James Gunn's Superman. It's a reason why people rejected James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a reason why they rejected Peacemaker. Because the comic books are completely different, and some of these people have been following these characters for a long time, and they can tell when shit is off. That is why. That is why people do not like Tom Holland. It's not because they hate Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is one of the most beloved characters of all time. Hell, y'all are still buying Spider-Man comic books, and the motherfucker suck right now. You get what I'm saying? Him and Mary Jane are not married. The comic books suck ass, and y'all still buying Spider-Man. So don't sit up here and tell me that because people don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man, they hate Spider-Man. No, they don't like this version of Spider-Man because it's not Peter Parker. It is something else. And it's okay to admit that. Okay? Great. I'm glad we had this discussion. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everybody.